like Hope Giselle said, trans women do not owe anyone femininity. And as a queer masculine woman who would not be perceived feminine in a locker room with a shortcut when I have my do-rag going or whatever else, I understand that. And I also understand that because of that experience, because of who I am, that I'm going to get caught up sometimes, right? Like, patriarchy has created misshapen perceptions of us to us, right? We're so busy trying to reaffirm the image of patriarchy that we find normal that we don't even care that we disposing of these people. We don't care that it doesn't cause us any harm to allow trans women to exist or to be fed and housed and all. It's like we want the world to look like what we know and understand and are comfortable with. And we need to just acknowledge the texture of that such that we can move in any other direction. Because everyone's fighting to be innocent or without transphobia instead of acknowledging that we're shaped in transphobia and need to say, like, I need to be able to address that I know I'm shaped by transphobia. Let me always be aware of how that transphobia can show up and transform. What are my internal thoughts about trans people?
I might get canceled for this video, but I honestly don't give a fuck because y'all try to cancel me plenty times before and I'm still here, babe. But it's sad to say, as a woman, you can't speak on trans women without trans women thinking you're either transphobic or hating on them or want to be just like them or just jealous at the fact that they're them and you. When in true reality, it has nothing to do with that. There's a very thin line in that conversation where women just want to know the answer to this question. How, as a woman, am I supposed to feel safe in certain spaces, in women's spaces, when there's men who choose to identify as a woman, and I'm doing quotation marks, because they don't actually identify as women. They just want to get into women's spaces so they can see women. Because as a man, a woman probably wouldn't even give him the time of day. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the Tish Hyman situation at Gold's Gym that just passed.
Boy. So we got to continue our coverage of the viral story out of Los Angeles, California, featuring a lesbian black woman by the name of Tish Hyman, who encountered a biological male in the women's locker room while working out at Gold's Gym. And this story went super duper viral, okay, because this woman made a scene, right? She got upset and confronted the transgender individual about being in the locker room naked, swanging. And she ended up getting kicked out, okay? And we've talked about this story before, and now she is going viral. She has been on news channels like Fox News to tell her story about what happened.
Alexis says you're the one fear-mongering, and I want to give you a chance to answer that.
I'm not fear-mongering. If you look it up, it's been posted by the New York Post that he beat his ex-wife, whose name is Alexis, by the way, to a point where she needed surgery, facial recognition surgery or something like this. You can read it up in the New York Post. I'm not fear-mongering. Transsexual men are men who believe that they are women and they deserve a place in the world. I'm just fighting for women's safety. It's not safe for men, transsexual men, biological women to be in the same changing facilities naked. And we all know why. Up until now, no one's been honest about it, and I'm being 100% honest. They're transsexuals, and it's nothing wrong with that. We have to give them a space to be safe, but women need to be safe and protected, prioritized. And there needs to be a lot of law changes that need to happen.
There is a law in California that says that their space must be protected. And you're talking about your space and your boundaries, Tish.
Their space is not the women's locker room.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, this woman is going to confront Democratic lawmaker out of California, Scott Wiener, right? Maybe his last name is pronounced Weiner, but I'm just going to call it Wiener, right? So this guy is super duper woke.
They treat trans people as if they're not full human beings, as if they're just trying to scam their way into a space where they, according to these folks, shouldn't be. That the trans community struggles when day in and day out they have to listen to that kind of vile, dehumanizing rhetoric. Gas or any other really significant issue. Just he's completely obsessed in a toxic, destructive way with trans people, and they're literally trying to erase trans people's existence, including children, and they're threatening to incarcerate teachers who treat their trans students like full human beings. and so on and so forth. And so we in California, we need to stand up for our trans community and be very clear that if Donald Trump and his cronies are going to come for trans people, they're going to have to come through us. Right-wing nut jobs can attack me all they want, but LGBTQ kids do not deserve these attacks. We recently in the Senate passed incredibly important legislation to ban forced outing of trans and non-binary kids in our schools. And right-wing nut jobs like Riley Gaines and Libs of TikTok are now viciously attacking me for speaking out in favor of getting rid of these horrible forced outing policies. And let's be clear about what these policies are. School districts, even in California, are mandating that if a teacher learns that a kid is using different pronouns or dressing a certain way or wearing certain makeup or just identifying as trans or non-binary, requiring that teacher immediately call the kid's parents to tell them, which could lead to violence against that kid at home, which could lead to the kid being kicked out and becoming homeless. This is happening here in California. And I want to be very clear. The only person whose business it is, when, whether, how they come out to their parents, is that kid. It is none of anyone else's damn business. I spoke out against this, and these crazy right-wing trolls are now attacking me and threatening me. But that's okay. I'm a big boy. I'm an elected official. I can handle it. These kids do not deserve this demonization. We have to have their backs. We got to speak out against these forced outing policies.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this confrontation that is going viral.
Senator Weiner, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah, so we want, everyone to be safe. And we also know that, we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women. And so, so if you're trans women are women.
Senator, you've done great things with the bills you've passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. And I do respect a lot of the things you've done. But I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children. And I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field. And I'm here to represent my community because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills. And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous, and we need your help, because you're in the office, you're going to go in the Pelosi spot. I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, women. Trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic, and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in.
I love the fact that she used a race card, bro. Which Infinity Stone of wokeness is more powerful, right? Because technically she got two. Well, she got three. My bad. Three. She got three. She got the black card, she got the lesbian card, she got the woman card, right? She got the same amount of Infinity Stones of wokeness as Chris Jean-Pierre. And we already know Chris Jean-Pierre lets us know every chance that she gets, she's a black lesbian woman. So, is the black lesbian woman, are those three Infinity Stones more powerful? Are they more powerful than the trans Infinity Stone, right? Or does it cancel out? How does this work? I'll try to figure it out. But this is fascinating, right? This is absolutely fascinating. Is the black card, the black lesbian woman card, is that going to override the trans card, right? How does that work? Who they gonna stick up for? Which minority group is more oppressed here? Okay, who should get priority?
But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
No, just let's.
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
Multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women, and that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country, and we have to protect the safety of all women.
We have to protect women.
Yeah, but you gotta. Here's the thing: you can't thread this needle, my guy. You gotta pick one. Which Infinity Stone of wokeness is more powerful, right? Is her 3 Infinity Stones more powerful than the trans Infinity Stone? That you got to choose, right? Because this guy is trying to basically, he's trying to equal it out, but you can't equal it out because if you side with trans women and you say, hey, trans women are women and they can be in the locker room, then for people like her, right? She got 3 Infinity Stones of wokeness. She don't like that, right? She feels like that Infinity Stone of wokeness is overpowering her 3. Okay, we gotta figure out again. What's more? Who's the biggest victim here? Right? Is the trans Infinity Stone that powerful? Right? Is it so powerful that it cancels out this woman's 3 Infinity Stones? Right? I thought we were told that you're not supposed to question black women. Right? You're supposed to listen to black women and respect black women. A black woman is talking. Right? A black woman is talking. She's telling her story, and we have to believe them. Okay? This is what I was told by liberals, by people on the left. Okay, I just did a video about a white liberal woman kissing the feet of ghetto black congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, right? That's how much you're supposed to respect and bow down to black women. So I'm trying to figure out why is it that these liberals, a lot of whom are white, right? Why is it when it comes to this trans conversation, all that we love black women stuff goes out the window, right? I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So, in my opinion, I think that you can't have it both ways, right? If you're pro trans women being in the women's locker rooms, then you can't say that you're about women or that you care about their feelings or any of that stuff, right? Because ultimately they are women who do not feel comfortable with that. And I think a lot of women don't feel comfortable with it. I think the women who are, silent about it, most of them who are silent about it, they fear speaking up because of stuff like this, because you're going to be called transphobic, right? So, again, this is fascinating.
Not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But this things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And my name is Tish Hyman. You heard me, sister? All right. Don't let them use our blackness and our civil rights as a reason to pass weird laws for children to transform. It's wrong. My sister's in jail. She can't get free tampons or soap, but she can get free transformation medication. Big Pharma is best. Tired of it.
Yeah, Scott.
Well, things were going so smoothly. Well, let's talk about another uncomfortable moment. When we first started talking in 2008, when Aaron Peskin challenged you for...
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, I think this woman is finding out the hard way that this is what you get when you vote for Democrats, right? This is what you get when you support these far left politicians who believe things like this guy, right? That as a woman, as a biological woman, you must share space with individuals who are not biological women. You have to do so because they feel like in their minds that biological males that identify as women are actually women. And because they feel that way, they don't want to discriminate against those individuals by coming up with some common sense policies that makes everybody happy. They don't want to make everybody happy, right? They want to please trans women, individuals, over everybody else, right? They come before everybody. Everybody else's feelings don't matter except the feelings of the trans individuals and those, again, who want to be in women's spaces even though they're not biological women. And vice versa as well, too. It doesn't just apply to women. It applies to, biological women who, identify as male. Same thing. Vice versa. So I just found that exchange to be fascinating because to me, it just seemed like a battle of wokeness. Whose infinity stones are the most powerful, right? At least to me, in that exchange, it seems like at the very least, the trans infinity stone may be as powerful as the black, female, and lesbian infinity stones combined, right? Those three infinity stones of wokeness combined, best case scenario, equal to trans stone. And the trans stone is probably more powerful than all three of them. That's what it seems like to me. But all jokes aside, again, these are the people that you vote for. These are the people that you elect, right? And this woman was so traumatized by her experience that she confronted the policymakers who are responsible for these policies that were put in place that traumatized her. And I hope that she learns that, hey, yeah, elections matter. Who you vote for matters. That if you keep putting these Democrats in office with these types of beliefs, these are the type of policies that you're going to get, right? I said in my first video about this, I was like, who did you vote for? That will determine how bad I feel about this, right? Because if you voted for the individuals that supported this, then I can't really feel that bad. And out in California, basically all of them, all the Democrats supported. So if you vote Democrat, then yeah, you're responsible. You don't have anybody else to blame except yourself. But at the very least, she's realizing that, yeah, the politicians are responsible for these laws that allow this to happen. And, she is doing what she feels she needs to do in order to make her concerns heard. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.